As a society, we do not want these very large organisations to have unchallenged power.
Platforms have always tried to deny liability, and they have not been regulated.
There's a real desire to protect individuals from harmful content online.
Really bad stuff is happening out there on social media, and it's pushing people to the edge.
Big tech can't self-regulate itself. It seems to have failed to do this, whether it's inability to do it or actually lack of will to do it. And therefore there has to be some form of external intervention.
Governments around the world are grappling with the difficulty of balancing freedom of expression on the one hand and rights of privacy and reputation on the other. There's a real desire to protect individuals from harmful content online. Clearly, self-regulation of social media platforms has not worked to date, and we've seen this in a number of areas, from politics and the Cambridge Analytica scandal, right through to some of the disinformation and misinformation that's been circulating in the context of the coronavirus pandemic.
As a society, we're starting to think, actually, we do not want these very large organisations to have unchallenged power. An organisation like Facebook, if it was a country, it would be bigger than China. The large tech companies have spent a lot of time lobbying their respective governments, trying to convince people that they are changing, they are listening. But I think the criticism levelled against them has often been that this has come too little too late and has been reactive rather than proactive. And so we need to find some new structure and framework that will actually enable the world of information to be policed effectively without losing the right of the freedom of speech.
And that's particularly evident in the legislation that the UK government are looking to pass at the moment.
We have the Online Safety Bill going through Parliament, and this represents a really enormous sea change in the law. Platforms have always tried to deny liability. They've tried to say it's not our responsibility what third-party users post on our platforms, and they have not been regulated. And the result is this legislation, which is going to impose a duty of care on platforms.
There's a huge debate going on at the moment at a political, societal and legal level about how you regulate, in particular, third-party content. That's user content published on social media platforms and in other areas.
What exactly that will look like in practice remains to be seen, but really it means a duty to take reasonable care to protect users from harm. It means that the platforms are going to have to take down unlawful content, and also they're going to have to remove lawful but harmful content. That's things which are within the law, but they're causing really bad harm to people, particularly young people, encouraging anorexia or cyberbullying, also misinformation. And if they don't do this now, they're going to face these enormous fines of about £18 million or 10% of turnover. So there's going to be this enormous incentive.
The bill being introduced is definitely a good thing and a brilliant way forward. However, it's easy to say that this bill is being introduced, but what will it look like at the other end, and how well will it do in terms of managing this behaviour?
Really bad stuff is happening out there on social media, and it's pushing people to the edge. And from my point of view, I'm hoping it's going to make a real improvement to takedown procedures.
Once a change has been introduced, it means that we are going to have to allow time for people to accept that change, because the real change is the individual. It is the social media management companies, but the real change that's going to take place and make a notable difference is the actual individual, that troll that sits at home and decides that they're going to impact another person.
The right to be forgotten is an incredibly powerful tool that you can use to have private information, which is about you online in search engines, removed. It's really important to understand what your rights are to have that content removed, but also to be really aware of what you're doing and how you can protect yourself before you share this content to make sure that you're not at risk.
It's often said that the law struggles to keep up with technology, but in fact it's a case sometimes of technology failing to apply the law in the right way. There are a number of legal tools available to protect clients online, and we've seen developments in the law, particularly in the area of data protection, which are particularly helpful in enabling individual clients to remove content from online.